Millions in India have gone to the polls even as COVID-19 devastates the country. West Bengal is in the final phase of a marathon election. At the same time, it's been another day of record infections. Another 380,000 have been recorded. 40 countries have already pledged much-needed supplies of oxygen.
West Bengal is wrapping up its final day of voting in state elections. The state has emerged as a key battleground for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP.
मास्क पहन आया हूँ, हाथ सैनिटाइजर कर लिया है और दूरत्व बजाय रखेंगे. 2 गज की दूरत्व बजाय रखेंगे.
The wave of new infections is relentless. India has added more than 6 million new cases this month alone, and daily deaths have nearly tripled. Delhi is reporting 1 death from COVID-19 every 4 minutes. The persistent shortage of medical oxygen is making things worse. This woman learned of her mother's death while waiting to refill an oxygen cylinder.
हम लोग घर से निकले रात के 2 बजे से, कहीं भी पूरे दिल्ली में ऑक्सीजन नहीं है. ढूंढ फिर के फाइनली यहाँ पे हम लोग रात के 3:30-4 बजे तक पहुँचे. पीछे लाइन लगा रहे थे, बाद में मालूम पड़ा कि आगे आना है. अभी इनका कहना है कि प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लेके मेरी मम्मी बहुत सीरियस है और लोग 2 दिन से पूरे दिल्ली के हॉस्पिटलों में बेड ट्राई कर रहे हैं.
The government's chief scientific officer has admitted that the intensity of India's second wave took authorities by surprise. Foreign aid cannot come fast enough. The government expects more than 500 oxygen generation plants to arrive from all over the world. The U.S. is also sending supplies worth more than $100 million, including 1 million rapid diagnostic tests.
Neha Punya joins us live now for more. Neha, there are concerns that West Bengal could become the new epicenter of the outbreak.
Absolutely, Dawn, and this is one of the longest state elections that India has seen in a long, long time. It lasted for over 30 days, was conducted over 8 phases, and until about a few weeks ago, we were still seeing massive election rallies by all political parties in the state. And now West Bengal has one of the fastest growing rates of COVID-19 infections anywhere in the country. It's recorded about 17,000 cases in the last 24 hours, but most experts are predicting in just about 14 days, it could be recording upwards of 40,000 cases on a daily basis. And already we're seeing healthcare facilities in many parts of West Bengal overwhelmed. They're also reporting shortages of beds and oxygen in that state. And most experts are blaming this election on that surge, saying that despite there being a very real threat of the second wave of infections, despite numbers climbing up from the very beginning of this month, we still saw election rallies continue. We saw the Election Commission not take any action until after Prime Minister Modi decided to cancel his programs in the state as well. And many are warning that what's happening in the national capital now, here in Delhi, where there were no elections, where we didn't see such massive gatherings, it's going to play out in West Bengal next, and it's going to be a lot worse than what New Delhi has had to deal with over the last 10 days.
In the meantime, Neha, we've seen the heartbreaking images of people suffering, of families, begging for beds, for oxygen. But at the same time, wealthier Indians are continuing to try to leave the country.
And it speaks of the inequalities, Dawn, that this pandemic has exposed. It's widened those gaps quite significantly over the last 1 year. But we're seeing this play out a lot more acutely now, as the desperation to access a hospital bed is forcing many people to turn towards the black market, where they're having to buy oxygen for exorbitant amounts. But at the same time, you have wealthy Indians who are now fleeing the country. When UK first announced that it was putting India on its red travel list, you had many millionaires, billionaires who took chartered flights to reach the UK before before those travel restrictions kicked in. Similarly, we're now seeing a lot of people try and fly to the US. The Air India, a national carrier, its flights are almost all booked out till the end of May, and it's seeing flight bookings that are similar to pre-COVID-19 levels, and that tells you that there is a sense of desperation across all classes to leave the country at a time when healthcare facilities are completely collapsing. Many travel agents saying that They're getting requests by wealthy families who want to leave the country and go anywhere, really, anywhere there are better healthcare facilities. But on the ground, we've seen for a week now cases top 300,000 every single day. And here in Delhi, just to give you a sense of the fact that this is a city with one of the best healthcare infrastructures, there's been no let up on the ground. It's still just as difficult to access any kind of medical care. And many experts are warning this is why many Indians are dying, not because of COVID-19, but because getting access to medical care has become so very difficult right now.
Neha Punya reporting from New Delhi.